Hello Cinephiles, I'm King Link and today I'm going to review Late Shift. If you watched my recent videos, I talked about a few indie games I played. I actually held back on Late Shift on purpose because it's a damn interesting game to talk about. Now check the screen, I think you'll get why very quickly. This isn't just a game, it's a full motion video game, or an interactive movie, or a movie game, or, well, to be honest, I don't know exactly what the developers want to call this, as they seem to change what it's called depending on who they're selling it to or what they're writing on. I'll be looking at it as a Steam game for a few reasons. First, I own it on Steam, it's listed as a game, and it's in my game library. I also only review Steam games, so that kind of puts it in that category. With that said though, this game looks good. I've never seen video game graphics that look this beautiful. These characters look like real people and the attention to detail is amazing. Okay, of course I'm joking about this. This is just a film, but so it's hard to really talk about the graphics. I'm going to actually put some of my normal commentary aside and talk about the game as a movie until we get to the actual gameplay. Now, our main character here is actually pretty good. In fact, the entire production is well designed. I really like the way the movie is shot, the acting is solid, and the visuals are good. This seems to have been filmed somewhere in Britain. I'm gonna guess London. I really don't know but for sure, but almost every scene is interesting and worth checking out. Now, this isn't going to win an Oscar necessarily, but for an FMV game and what they do with it, it's really good compared to some of the older examples, though there are some odd moments. Now, maybe this is a British production, so some terminology is odd, like going to the bogs, and there seems to be some minor weird moments, but I think that might have something to do with either stitching the film together or something else going on, or maybe the choose-your-own-adventure approach. As for the story of the film, well, it starts off rather tame and odd. You start by getting on a bus, as I've shown here, deciding why you get on. From there you go to your job as a valet of this exotic car park, but quickly get involved in, well, what becomes a heist movie. It's done rather well after that point, and I figured giving the option of what do I do would mean that there's some rather obvious X choice where it's forced, where you choose one option over and over until you choose the other. But the player actually can make their own story at all times, whether it be trying to fight against the inertia of the piece or playing along. Now, the downside, though, is at the end of the day, because this is a live-action game, there's limited choices that are possible and only 7 different endings. The game boasts 180 choices, but really only a couple are critical to what happens in the story outside of a few seconds of new footage each time. I played the game through 3 ways. I did a bad character run or a bad actor run where I try to break the game at every chance I get or try to get killed. That was actually entertaining, but the end result was really good. I then replayed the story going along with the heist, and it was a different story with some similar scenes. And then I tried a passive character who didn't even answer any questions, and actually in that time I actually got something similar to the second run through. Now, you see, the story has to be somewhat conservative and not waste too much footage. So while there's, what they say, 14 scenes in the game, you'll see about 10 each playthrough, give or take a few. In 2 playthroughs, I've seen 13 scenes. The third playthrough didn't show me anything different, and it's an interesting process. Now, like I said, there are 180 choices in the game according to the creator. Only a few matter. There was a single chapter that gave me 3 different endings on my second playthrough, depending on certain choices in that scene. And that's fine, but I wish there was more ability to change stuff. Now, there are clever moments to the story, and I do enjoy the movie, but overall, it's a game story meant to have open-ended nature and to force players into certain situations. Act 1 is a little strange, but once you get past that, it's solid. So, it's a great film, but a decent story. How's the gameplay? Now, I'm sure people are wondering how that really works because I called this a game a few times. Well, this is the biggest thing for Late Shift. Late Shift is really uninteractive. If you've seen Bandersnatch, you're going to get the same thing here. You have 2 choices and have to decide one of 2 to continue the story at most points. Sometimes you have 3 choices, but so on. Now, what is impressive though is the transitions here are seamless. You choose an option and the game shows the right clip without feeling like any choice was made or any loading was done. Again, this is very similar to what Bandersnatch does without dealing with the remote nature of the streaming service, so it's a little bit easier for them, but it works well. But much of Late Shift is about removing agency from the player. If you want to fight against the flow of the movie, you can do that at predetermined points. Now, this is a problem with the idea of a full motion video game, and every choice must be decided ahead of time. There's no generated parts of the game, so everything has to be filmed and edited and created to do that. Unlike a regular video game where you could just walk away from an encounter because the walk and the environment is generated as you move, here it has to be filmed, like I said. Now, most choices in the game give you 2 or very rarely 3 options, like I said. There's also the option of waiting for the time to run out, but I believe almost all the time it's defaulted to one of the 2 stated choices. It does change between the 2, which one left or right, but at the same time you don't get much new with that option. The movie takes about an hour to play out each time, maybe a little more depending on what you choose, which is a decent amount, and you'll be sitting there just watching for a decent amount of that time as well. After watching the movie once, most players will of course want to try replaying it for something different the second time, or maybe know one choice that they wish they changed. And this is where we actually run into the problems. Players are only able to start at the beginning of the movie or the current scene of the movie. There's no way to rewind choices or reselect a previous choice, but a bigger problem comes up in that you can't even fast forward the movie. And that is actually one of the things that keeps me from calling it a movie versus a game. Now, other games in this genre, such as Bandersnatch, Until Dawn, pretty much everything David Cage has ever made, allows you to rewind quite a bit farther, choose from a different point, and retell the story from there. But here, you're forced to rewatch the entire movie, which really sucks if you know exactly what you wanted to change. It's frustrating to sit through the game 2 or 3 times, and there's only a handful of choices that matter, so you're going to be seeing an hour-long performance to get a single new scene potentially that doesn't really change the overall film, and if you make the wrong choice, you'll be back in the endings that you have already seen. As mentioned, there's only really 2 or 3 choices that really define the ending, and only one choice for most of the scenes in between those points. And that's the real problem with Late Shift. It's a game, not a movie, but without the ability to rewind or fast forward, experiencing it a second time really isn't that fun. You can't even skip ahead. And people should be expecting to play through this a few times to see everything you can do with it. That's the nature of the choose your own adventure style. Now, Late Shift does sound impressive on paper. According to the developers, there's 4 hours of footage, which I totally believe, multiple different scenes, different results, 7 different endings, and 180 choices, and it appears all of that is there. It's a good movie, well acted, interesting story, and well made. But it's the sitting through the almost same story each time that absolutely hurts this experience. With the release of Bandersnatch on Netflix, I would say that Late Shift lost a bit of its most interesting concept, but it wanted to be known as the first interactive movie. But even there, I don't think it can be called that. According to Wikipedia, there was a movie in the 60s even called Kino Automat, which allowed the audience to vote on what happened next. A person would come out and ask, hey, what should this guy do? And a different part of the movie would play with each choice the audience had. But even in the game space, we have Dragon's Lair, Space Ace, Mad Dog McCree, the later Zork games, Myst, X-Files the Game, Night Trap, Tex Murphy, and more, and they've all done interesting stuff with FMVs. Telltale was telling interactive experiences for quite a while as well. Late Shift might have a claim to some firsts, such as the first seamless, standalone, interactive movie over 60 minutes with a British production company or something. I don't even know what that actually would be. And the tech, though, is very interesting. The first playthrough is really good here. It's just that after that point, the game starts to have some major problems that keep me from wanting to play it a second, third, fourth time. And that's a shame because it's quite interesting the first time through. For me, Late Shift earns a 2 out of 5. I simply can't recommend this game when so many other games have done something similar and better. A few minor tweaks to the formula could have made this game really stand out. The ability to see the full decision tree for the game would have been major, and to be able to choose where the players started could have made replaying the game more interesting. But those are just the obvious choices. How about the ability to identify what you haven't seen, no matter how minor the change would have been? It could have been impressive to see the amount of footage they had to film, as it feels like each scene must have been reshot a few times because of different choices. What is offered, though, seems to be afraid to ruin that illusion of choice, because without an ability to jump to the minor choices, I really find it impossible to recommend as a full experience. And that is Late Shift. So we're going to step away from the indies again, and we'll be back before long, but next time we'll be talking about Dishonored 2. Corvo is back with an all-new experience, this time with the Queen herself helping out. I'll be back to talk about that soon. And if you've made it this far, thank you. Consider subscribing, and I appreciate you sticking around. And the Hyrulean Knights welcome you. We're reaching a new milestone and would really appreciate your help with that. Feel free to like and comment on this video if the mood strikes you. Until next time, I'm King Link, and thank you for watching.